us to your open house. I'll bring you coffee to the title company, kissing ass. I was just like, it wasn't getting me the connections I wanted. So I became the connect. Now I'm the realtor and I choose my signers. So I have a group of girls that are in my office and I'll delegate the signings to just them. And then I did get into the financial world. So now I'm doing financial services that kind of open doors for setting them up for retirement with different products. And then from there, it ties into having a connection to someone who does trust to secure your mortgage. It connects with, healthcare directives, powers of attorney, all that. So I got connections with that. Then I got a connection with a lender. So I have a lender in-house and, we work together too. And so we just got, put all the pieces to the puzzle together. And now I'm glad to say I have a little bit of more of a direct connect where I ain't got to be begging for nothing no more.
Angie, where are you from?
So I'm originally from Richmond, California, but I moved to Central Valley in a little town named Newman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how can they get in touch with you?
So the community mainly, they still are old school. So they stay in touch with newspapers and mailers. Other than that, social media for my younger generation and by word of mouth, social media has helped, especially for Instagram and Facebook leads. So that's kind of where I'm at with connections. I still have a lot of work to do though. It takes time for all that.
What's your Instagram, Angie?
It is so for my notary one, it's Closing with Angie. And then I just started my my realtor one is The Official Realtor Angie.
Love it. Hey, right. Tech, aren't you in that neck of the woods, by the way?
Yeah.
No, we can't see your hoodie, but
okay. He's from the town.
Yeah, he's from the town. Tech always got to represent his hood.
That's
look,
right.
Look at him. God damn, dude, for real.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, all day. Yes, I know where Richmond is. Yeah, the city known by the rich. Yeah, I know. So yeah, I know. Yeah, Central Valley is popping out there. You know, Newman, California. We passed through all those towns when we racing down to LA.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys got to connect, Tech, with everything you guys got going on.
Yeah, Closing with Angie. She's the one to get in touch with. Absolutely.
Boom. Yep. Hit me
awesome.
up.
Thank you, Angie, for tapping in.
You're welcome.
Well, welcome everybody to the Notary War Room. I am your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo. And today we have a very, very special guest, y'all. I just found out damn near an hour ago, she's from the fucking Bronx. Blew my mind. I don't appreciate that shit. That's one of them like low key. Yeah, I'm gonna get at. Look. She's doing the exit. Everything. I need to build my alliance with my family here. If you guys don't know who she is, I heard her name circulating these streets and these notary streets for at least a year. And I finally got to meet her at Dawn's Notary Business Lock-In. And she was just spitting so much fire, you guys. I mean, like, you know, when somebody spits so much fire, like you don't even turn it off. Like, even if you got something to do, you're going to continue to listen to them, even though you don't have a pen and paper in front. This is what she was doing. She was like, look, at some point, I just have to let some of this absorb in my mind. And she was spitting so much heat out. I reached out to Dawn and said, Dawn, who the fuck is she? Get me in contact with her. And we connected. And we've been family since. Like we cling. She don't even know you guys. We cling now. Like it is what it is. We gang together now. So I just wanted to give my sister, my Latina sister, a warm introduction. Please help me welcome She Boss.
Woo!
And we also have a very special guest host today by my brother out in the Bay, Tekamaku. Brooklyn's still in the house, nigga.
West Coast.
House.
West Coast.
In case you guys didn't know, there's gonna be a lot of cursing.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sunday. What are you talking about?
So we live, baby. We live on YouTube. Let's get it cracking. Let's go.
Hey, well, welcome to the Notary War Room. As you all may have known, that I am a special guest host for today. And if you don't know who the person is that is being interviewed today, or who we have the delight of and the pleasure of speaking with, it is She Boss Mobile, Griselle Marte, and she is our esteemed guest today. If you guys don't know, and first let me just start by saying this: I'm delighted, and I have the pleasure of talking to her today. And I don't know if she knows this, but I've been a big fan of hers for a while. I followed her, and she's always popping up on my timeline, and I see her nonstop. So you can't help but to be attracted to that smile and her energy. So it is a great honor to have the chance to talk to her and hear some of the heat that she is bringing to our notary community. But if you guys don't know anything about her, she is an expert loan signing agent. She is a phenomenal entrepreneur. She's a mother, and she is a powerful force within the business industry and business community. But if I could allow you to introduce yourself to the family, let us know who you are, and give us a little bit of background of who is Griselle, also known as She Boss.
So you said it. My name is Griselle, but everyone in these streets know me as She Boss or She Boss Mobile. That is my brand. That is my brand on purpose. I am an entrepreneur. I am a first generation entrepreneur. So I'm learning as I go. I'm learning from my peers. I'm learning from those I, purposely put myself around. Damn, you're gonna put my business up in there? I wasn't ready.
That's how we do. That's how it is.
I am all about multiple streams of income, trying it, seeing if it works. I am a mom, so I set the example. So my son has gumball machines. He's an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm all about women empowerment as well. So, you guys get a lot of love, maybe not in the notary community because it's a lot of females, but I'm all about women empowerment, and we all about, just collaborating, motivating each other, and there's no competition on this side. It's all love.
Absolutely. One of the things that is you mentioned this too just a second ago about the notary community, and also there is a heavy presence of women that it really dominates this particular industry. For what reason why, I can't tell you, but I'm sure that somebody else has the answer. I'm not going to try to figure that out. But when you got into this industry, and that's something that you recognize, first, how did you get into this industry? And then when did that become how did that come onto your radar that, wow, this is something that's heavily dominated by women, and how will I sort of navigate this industry? How did you get into this industry? And then how did you sort of navigate your way around and finding your place?
Gotcha. So I am a pandemic notary. So, I was working throughout the whole pandemic. I was working at a shipping location. I'm just going to say out there. I was working at FedEx office. Okay. So with FedEx office, I was managing the location. What the company did, unfortunately, they let go more than half the staff of the whole company. So it was just me and one other person in this store. And people are coming in, they're shipping goods, they're trying to do their business still, but from home. So we were trying to help them. So in this field, I'm here working the counter, and I keep seeing ladies run in with shipping documents. And the more I notice that, the same stereotype. They would dress well. I thought they were realtors. They were not. They'll come in, they had to take pictures of their receipt, take pictures of the package, and no, don't touch my, it was just like, whoa, what are these documents? Why, the secret, like what's this? This one particular person, she used to come in with her daughter all the time. At that time, my son was doing home from, school, but at home. And same situation with her, but she was able to bring her daughter along with her to these signings that I found out later. And she would just have her in the car and her laptop pretty much. So she's doing this while my son's calling my store needing help to get back on Zoom. And because grandma's not helping him, my mom said, look, he's here, he's safe, he's fed. Like, I'm not helping him, no electronics. I'm not helping him with schoolwork. I got my own thing going on. So I'm struggling trying to balance both, right? We're in a pandemic. I'm trying to stay safe. I'm trying to still help him with his school stuff. And then I'm seeing these people, these females coming in, taking out these machines, which now I know it's mobile scanners, setting up, basically making FedEx their office. And I'm like, what do you do? Like, what is going on? Tell me more. So I was nosy, and it's the New York in me. Like, I'm very observant. Like, I want to know what you're doing, what you're up to, why I can't touch this package. like what's going on? So I learned that these females coming in, they were notaries, but they weren't just notaries. They were loan signing agents. I've needed notaries in the past, right? I went to UPS or I went to my bank, and I didn't think it was nothing big. UPS, I think they charged me like $10. My bank was free. So I'm like, what money are these people making? Because now I'm talking to them, right? I'm asking them open-ended questions pretty much. I'm trying to get more information out of them. And they're telling me they left their jobs. They're telling me right now, this is the time to become a signing agent. So I started looking up, what is a signing agent? Do I need some type of degree? What's going on? And before they knew I was interested, because I would just ask questions, they were showing me how much money they made. They showed me the apps they were on, companies they were signed up with. I noticed the labels were always going back to a title office. So I was already, taking down notes. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna need a mobile scanner, because that's what she had. You're gonna need to dress like this. You're gonna need to take pictures of your receipt. I'm just taking down notes. And in between customers, I'm looking up information, how to be a notary. I'm looking at YouTube. I'm looking at, I went on Instagram and found a couple of notaries I started following. And then this guy named Mark Wills, he kept popping up, but he was like a salesy person. I was like, this might be fake. Like, I'm just like, but let me see what this is about. And people kept tagging him and saying, oh, he's going to help you make 6 figures. But then I started following Sophia Martin on YouTube. And Sophia Martin took notary to notary from Vanessa, her training. So I'm like, okay, let me see. I didn't know there was so many different types of training. I didn't know there was so many different types of like just options out there, or this many people that did this. So me following Sophia Martin, she showed us like her day in the life, what was needed. Honestly, what really goes down, like she told us we had to like really promote ourselves, go visit title offices, answer these notifications as quickly as possible. Like she gave us like the 411, like the real 411. So I was like, you know what? I think this is it. I said, again, I'm doing my research. If I had a question, let's say I watched a video and I'm like, but how do you do that? I would go ahead on YouTube. How do you do that? And I would just find the answer. And people were doing like 101s. I saw Andre Hatchett too. There was a lot of people doing coaching, and I'm just like, okay, this is a thing. This is real. This is not no, scam. The mentor might be a scam. That's another story. But the mentor might be a scam. But this is something real, and this is something I can do. So I became a loan signing agent. When did I become a loan signing agent? 2020. I want to say 2020, at the end of the year, 2020, officially. And I put myself out there. I was getting from, not to put my business out there, but like seller sides were like $75 starting. And then I was doing a lot of these signings called hybrid signings with AmRock. And AmRock will pay you, at that time was $75. You only had to print like 10 pages, bring your tablet to the, to the person's home. Pretty much you open the app there and they're clicking away themselves. So you just have to show up and stamp like 2 documents. So I was like, oh, this is nice. Like, I like this. Maybe not all the traveling, but like, I like this. So yeah. I went in, I jumped in, I did it. Lessons learned, right? It's a lot of lessons that was learned. A lot of people tell you need all these special things and special equipment. And if you look it up, you about to spend like $400 on a printer that you actually don't really need. You just make it happen. So when I first started, I had a single tray and I knew how to hustle. So I knew how to figure things out and put things together. I don't mind changing the paper and the tray, the one tray, making it legal. Like, it's not a big deal. But everyone kept saying, there was no jobs out here. You needed this, you needed that. So like I said, I learned as I went. I jumped in. I purposely branded myself. I wanted my brand to be the same across all boards. So if you either saw me in person, you knew I was She Boss. If you saw me online, you knew I was She Boss. And that's what I did. My digital marketing came in later on for passive income, right? To help my community, to help them navigate this crazy journey loan signing, whether you want to do loan signing, whether you want to just be organized, if you want to know how to market, things like that. So whatever material I put out there for myself to help me in the process, I knew I had to share it as well. So that's where the digital part came from. Wow. So I have my Gumroad and I have my Etsy too.
Wow. Yeah. And for those of people who can see us, who got the visual, you can see on the screen all of the resources that she has available. So that's what an interesting journey. And going from working in a traditional 9-to-5, traditional full-time, part-time, but in an employee role, being introduced or being exposed to a industry that you were familiar with, you've worked with Notary before, but then all of a sudden you notice something. You notice that there's these women that are popping in, and what is it that they're doing? And it kind of piqued your curiosity. And then that took you to another avenue, down another road where now you're doing your own research, you're looking into it, come across Sophia Martin, for those who don't know, another person who's out there. And I believe she's operating out of Philadelphia. And then that leads to another avenue of researching, and that takes you down another road. And eventually you find what eventually becomes She Boss Mobile, and you start to build your brand. Tell us, can you give us a little bit of background about who you are personally? Can you tell us, because that's that journey, that whole trajectory from leveraging what is a job, right? It's traditionally a job, and you're taking the insights and the tools that you get from being inside that environment. You're saying, all right, I see what they're doing. I see how successful they are. Let me find out more about this. So where did that come from? What were you like as a young woman, as a young girl? And give us a little bit of background about your history and sort of where did that insight sort of come from? Did you develop that over the course of your life?
Oh my goodness, I'm getting personal now.
We want to know. We want to get to know who you are. Let us know.
So Griselle is from the Bronx, born and raised in the Bronx. In the Puerto Rican family. My mom is Puerto Rican. My dad's Dominican, but I was not brought up with him. I met him later on when I was 16. I bumped into him in a bodega and I found out that was my dad. So that was that part. We want to get personal now. But Griselle was, again, she was brought up in the Bronx, and the Bronx is not it's not no kumbaya, peaceful place, okay? I grew up watching my neighborhood fight against right across the street, the other side of the street, the other neighborhood. I grew up, hearing gunshots out the window. I grew up with robberies, going on around me. I grew up with the struggle, but it was what I was known. It was what was like normal to me. Like the struggle was normal. Someone, us going to the welfare office was normal. That was normal. But what I didn't want my son to have was that being his normal. So I knew I had to make a change, and I knew I had to sacrifice. So me being in the good company I was in, I knew I can transfer to another state. So Florida was on the list because my mom was here already. My mom had, she picked up and she left. She came to Florida. She redid her life over here. My brothers were over here. So I knew Florida was it. No one up and runs and comes to Spring Hill because Spring Hill was not something that you would choose from a map. Normally people go to like Miami, Tampa, Orlando. They go to like the busy cities where you can find a lot of like New Yorkers there as well. But I knew I wanted different. I wanted change, and Spring Hill was it. Again, I was with the same company for 10 years. So managing was something I naturally did. I was a manager. I was a born leader. I can tell you how to do something from point A to point Z, and I can make sure you know how to do it. So when that came into my notary business, I knew I naturally showed people by blogging and my social media how to do, notary work, how to correct, mistakes, how to promote your business. I didn't know people were charging for this. I naturally was showing people what I was doing in day-to-day life, what lessons I learned, right? Like power of attorney with verbiage. I was teaching people, well, you have to ask about the verbiage. You can't just assume. And I thought people knew this. No, people actually charge to give this information out. But because me growing up in New York, when someone hustled and someone was selling something, everyone knew how to do it. Like everyone was so open about their business. If my neighbor was selling, coquitos, like coconut ices in the summer, she'll go ahead and pass on the recipe. There was no secret. Everyone was, promoting each other's business, helping each other out. In Florida, it's a little different. It's a little different. Everyone's like top secret, you need the code to get in. But I wasn't used to that. I was just so used to like the open, like the welcoming. So I don't know. Like I'm a boss. Like She Boss came from because I'm a boss. I'm a natural boss. I'm always gonna find a way to make money. I'm always been like a workaholic. I always, worked from a very young age. If I wanted the latest pair of Jordans, I already knew I had to, create a plan of how I'm gonna hustle and get that money. So again, it was naturally, I knew how to hustle. I knew how to be a boss.
What did you see yourself doing at this time in your life?
Honestly, because when you get comfortable, right, with a good company, you get comfortable, you see yourself just leveling up with that company. You don't see yourself looking outside the box. It wasn't until the pandemic that I had to really realize, shit, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you telling me I have to get off the phone. My son's over here needing help on how to get back on Zoom, and he needs help with his homework, and I can't get on the phone because you're watching me while you at home. You're watching the camera store, the store cameras, and like, oh, gee, you too much on the phone. It's Charlie off the phone. You need to, get to the client as soon as the client comes in that door. It wasn't cutting it. It just wasn't cutting it. Me working 6 days a week for someone else wasn't cutting it. Like, I just had to leave that environment. And honestly, me jumping ship and getting this extra income, getting in rooms that I never thought I would get in, was all worth it. Like, so before Notary, before She Boss, I probably will have seen myself being safe, staying with the company, again, safe. Because that hustle was getting tiring. But when the pandemic happened, it just sparked a whole fire under me. And I was like, all right, let's get it. What we doing? Oh, we're doing field inspections. Oh, okay. We're doing mystery shops. Oh, okay. We're doing social media, we're doing blogging, we're doing one-on-ones, digital products. Oh, okay. Like, let's do it. Like, we have a whole list of different ways you can hustle.
Yeah. What do you think is, for, obviously you have a lot of skills, you have a lot of talent, and you have a lot of transferable skills as well, especially from personal life. It sounds like you're bringing that over into the business world. What are the things that you think you naturally, I mean, your energy is very inviting, and you have a personality and an aura that is very attractive. And so what do you think are what qualities that you naturally, or you maybe see that loan signing agents or people who are in this industry, what do you naturally do that you would or you naturally have that you would tell another person who was interested in this? What do you think that, what type of characteristics should a quality person in this industry have?
Find a solution yourself. I get so many messages, or when I'm on Facebook groups, I see, hey, I need a mentor. I need a mentor. I need a mentor. Hey, I just got my commission. I need a mentor. And it's just like, ask yourself why you wanted to do this, first of all. Second of all, what did you learn? Like, did your state not require you to take a test, a class?
That's right.
Like, so I just get a little confused because I see that now so many people are so dependent on that. Let me hold your hand and teach you. Where, with me, sometimes working at corporate, it was like a sink or swim type of thing. Like, you got to make it happen. You got to make these numbers happen. You got to make these, when I worked at FedEx office, we had a quote to meet. I was in charge of making sure our profit, and loss wasn't a positive, like making sure our profit wasn't a positive. So that taught me how to handle the back end of stuff in my notary business. If I was wasting too much money here on supplies, okay, let me see how I can cut back. What is going on? You know what? She's not getting donuts this week. Like, okay, let me see if Office Depot is charging this for this amount of paper. Let me see where else I can get a discount at. Like, you start trying to figure out ways to cut back. Companies do it all the time, right? They cut back on your hours. All right, it's your business. How can you cut back? So I knew driving, that was an increase of gas. All right, so how can I make up for that money? How can I earn more money passively, right? So that's where digital products came from. That's where one-on-ones came from. Another thing is, when I was working at FedEx office, we had to help create business cards and flyers for companies and banners. So I already knew that whole world. I already knew how to mess with Canva.
Right.
We mess with Canva because, first of all, if a client came in and they needed something right there and then, I don't know Photoshop and all this other stuff, but I knew Canva. I'm going to go ahead and create your product for free. Here's your file. Do you like it? Okay, I'm going to still charge you that extra digital creation fee, even though I use a free platform. They don't know that. They just know their business card was created. So that was something else that came into mind when it was this business. Like, okay, I'm not going to pay anyone to create my stuff. I'm going to create it myself. I'm going to figure it out. And that's just something I wish more notaries knew how to do. Just figure it out without having to rely on someone else so heavily. Because the way they do things might not be the way that it's supposed to be done. And we all know there's scammers out there. We all know, coaches that were scamming. Oh yeah, you're going to go ahead and I'm going to coach you here. Watch these YouTube videos. Like, we all know of a person or two that we heard in these notary streets that were scamming people. So, and I actually, I actually had I want to say a scam coach. So I lived and I learned.
You want to put them on blast?
Nah, I'm not going to do that. But just do your research first. Figure it out on your own first before you reach out to anyone and want that one-on-one how to hold my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's monetizing your skills definitely. It sounds like it's very important to you, and it is a message that you talk about a lot. And you know, you're living it. You're showing the people how exactly how you took skills that you are naturally, you know, great at, and then what you learned in the corporate world, and how you're applying it to your own life, which I think is amazing. I think it's things that some people probably underestimate, and you're showing people how to do that. So what about taking the leap finally? You know, what can you describe what that felt like when you finally took that leap? What was that like?
So it was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess because I had no time management. You would think I had no. I knew that when I clocked in, I had to get this set of things done before I clocked out, right? Or if not, you know, I might get a called into the office or something. When it comes to your own business, I had to learn the hard way. You have to have that same mentality. You have to have that same thought process. Why are you jumping, you know, when this person says do something, but when you need to make this post or reach out to this individual, you like, okay, I didn't get it done today. It's all right. I'll get it done tomorrow. So I had to learn the hard way how to really get organized and have that time management. And I still struggle with time management. But it's something, again, I had to build on. So taking the leap was not as clean and sweet that everyone made it seem like. You really need to have your finances in order, people. If you're going to take the leap, please
Talk about that. Yeah, talk about
make
that.
sure you have your finances in order, okay? So I took the leap and I was my own boss for over 2 years, straight up. I was dependent on loan signing. 90% of my business was loan signing. And damn, when it slowed down, oh, I fell flat on my face. So now here I am like, all right, what we doing? How are we getting that extra income? I thought, all right, I took the leap. I'm trying to figure things out. I was thinking the best thing was to open up another business instead of building and focusing on what I had now, on what I was amazing at doing, what I enjoyed. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I ran a drug testing office for a good 6 to 7 months. I was doing drug testing, and fingerprinting. I had a contract with a company called Field Print. And basically they give you the scan, the electronic machine. They give you everything. They give you the scanner, the computer, the whole setup. They give you this whole setup that's worth $10,000. But all you have to do is be open 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Sounds like another W-2. That's what it sounds like. But all I kept seeing was like, all right, well, notary is slow, right? So I'm going to do this. So here I am getting a small cut from just that portion from that company. And then I started adding drug testing. So people will come in with their job, with a letter from their job saying they need to get a drug test. And I will go ahead and prep the bathroom and collect urine. And I just remember like, what did I do? Like, I really thought business was slow, so let me open up another business. So when I say I learned some lessons, Jumping ship may not be as clean, okay? The ocean, it could be crazy, all right? Sometimes those waves are too high and you can't see, where you're going. That's exactly what happened. At the moment, it felt great because I had another business. But profit was definitely on the loan signing side, on the notary side. This other business felt like a whole W-2 again. I felt trapped. But I was like, no, I cannot be the shrimp, the bottom feeder. Like I cannot, no. So I had to really close shop up and pretty much start from fresh, go back out there and market and get into other things. So like field inspections. We are a notary first. And I keep telling people that we are notaries first. Learn how to make money as a notary. Loan signing sounds amazing, but it might not always be the most profitable thing. So I definitely started increasing my Google, started being active on Google, following up, answering my phone. That's the main one. Answer your phone. I just really started hitting hard on what I know I do great at, which is loan signing, notary, that type of work.
Yeah, and there are some comments in the
I didn't even see
conversation.
that.
They're saying that you saved some people from adding that to their company. So it's kind of switching gears and then talking about loan signing specifically and talking how closely should somebody follow the real estate industry in itself? Are you a fan of real estate? And people say real estate and they say, that can mean a bunch of different things. It could be investment, it could be house flipping, it could be hard lending, it could be inspections. That term real estate is really a very large umbrella term. It could even mean just mortgages. It can mean, just how much, the shift and changes in interest rates. There's just so many, but for somebody to be as successful and to enjoy the industry as much as you do, because you certainly seem like this is your area of specialty. How closely are you involved, or do you like keep up with the trends? And is that something that is a part of that success?
Believe it or not, I don't keep up with the Joneses. Like, I don't keep up with the trends as much as people would think. This field is so big. I was just talking to a notary yesterday, and so she is a transaction coordinator. Wow. Which means she started as a notary. She is a notary. She's a notary, of course. She's still commissioned, but because she fell in love with real estate and she just wants to do something quite different, but she doesn't have a real estate license, but she's still working for realtors. So she's coordinating their closings. She's making sure they are reaching, if they have, a survey at a particular day or an inspection, she is their coordinator. She's their manager for that transaction. So she knows all the due dates, keeping documents in order. And she's in New York too. So I just thought that was interesting how you can start from being a notary like I did and just fall in love with real estate. You know how people are like, oh, when did you fall in love with hip hop? I fell in love with real estate when I started when I became a notary. Yeah. I was in these rooms and the conversations that was being said around me was mind blowing. I don't own property, but I know that's the goal. Maybe not to live, but definitely to rent. I definitely see the different types of income generating, the benefits, right? I didn't know what was a trust until I was at a table and I see trust verbiage and I'm like, what? Why? Like, why do you do this? I'm at a table and you got parents buying property for their son or daughter who's in college now, for they can have their own roommates and they can basically be their landlord. Like, oh no, I'd rather have my son, worry about his schoolwork than having to worry about paying, a high rent. So I don't mind, charging them half the mortgage while we take care of it, because schoolwork comes first. And I'm just like, adopt me. Like, how, like, just being these tables and these conversations. Sometimes you at a table and you look at the person and you don't know what the person do, right? So you try to figure out what they do for a living, and you'd be surprised how much knowledge they have, whether it's on real estate, stocks, whatever it is. So I just fell in love with the unknown. Like, there's so many levels to this, and I'm still learning, like I said. So being that table with, I'm talking about investors, flippers, even people who just do inspections, and like the knowledge they have and what's needed, it's just mind blowing. Like, I do want to go further more into real estate. I am taking my class to become a realtor, only because I do want to be a property owner. Like I want to have rentals. I want to go back to New York and be like, y'all paying me now. Like that is my dream. Like I want to have a condo looking over the city. Like it's gonna happen.
You don't want a brownstone in Brooklyn?
Oh.
How much is that? How much is that going for?
And millions, man. Over
2 million?
For sure.
The benefits of this field, you outlined it perfectly. That's beautiful. Some of the benefits that you learn just by virtue of being inside of those rooms, being at that table, you're literally in people's business. You can see how much money they have in their accounts, what their credit scores are, what are they intending to do with some of these things. It's fascinating.
I be nosy. I be reading through all those documents. How much you earn a year? Damn. Okay. Like I go into these homes and sometimes they probably look at me like, oh, look at this poor little girl. Cause I be going in like my mouth open, like looking around. I be asking questions like, oh, how old this house is? Oh, I like the Spaniard style. And I'm just like looking, throwing words out there. You don't have no pets? Like I'm just nosy. Like I need to know what they do and I want to know how they did it. A lot of the times when I get really comfortable with the signers and they start talking to me, I learn it's from generation. Like they pass down the properties from generation to generation. And again, when you try and have generational success and what's that word? Generational what is that word? Say it.
Okay, you talk a lot about generational wealth.
Yeah, generational wealth.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah. That's everything right now. Because honestly, when my mom goes, she's not leaving me nothing but probably debt. Like she don't have anything to leave me because she's an old Puerto Rican. She got a lot of gold chains, her gold rings. So I'll probably keep that, but she has nothing else, to be honest. And that's just not something I want to leave my son. I want to leave my son a legacy. It's a different time. There's knowledge that's out there right in front of us for free. So again, I'm just learning by, YouTubing, following people on Instagram, learning about all these different businesses that you can do, and how to keep a property. You can use that money to refinance, buy another property, right? You just start being nosy and start learning all these little different tricks that people are doing to keep property in their family, keep generational wealth going. And that's what I'm trying to do. Hey, Jessica. Sorry.
Yeah. How do you know your mom don't have $5 million stashed somewhere? How do you?
She don't got nothing.
How do you know she don't have a boat somewhere? Just
listen.
$800 million just stashed in the mountain somewhere. How do you know?
I am the only girl out. She has 4 kids. I have an older brother. It's me and 2 younger brothers. And I'm the only one in my family who really be talking about real estate, who talk about, buying a property, back in New York, or let's go to Puerto Rico and buy a property by the ocean, or even here in Florida. I'm the only one who's always talking about property and they're like, nah, we good. And I'm just like, come on, I'm trying to get them on the board, but you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them. That's it.
You're definitely a teacher. It's definitely I get the impression that you are a teacher. You enjoy it. You enjoy sharing the knowledge. That's something that is a quality that is something that it's tough to bring out in people, but it seems something that you're natural. I think that's why people gravitate towards you. So tell us something about the culture of loan signing and as it pertains to notary. Loan signing is a subset of the notary public industry, right? There's several different moving parts of the notary industry. And I think sometimes people get that confused. I think sometimes people can lump a lot of it in together. And as you know, it's not quite like that. In the beginning, it may seem that way. You may be introduced to the notary industry by someone who kind of presents it that way. But tell us a little bit something about loan signing in particular as it as it pertains to the notary industry and the culture, the language of loan signing, how you're so well versed and how you're able to get clients because you know it so well. Tell us something about what is it about loan signing that is so attractive, and how is it differentiate between like all the other stuff that notaries sort of get involved in?
I think there's a huge misunderstanding about loan signing. When it comes to like notaries coming in, their goal is ultimately to become a loan signing agent, as if that's the I made it point. And it's really not. It's just another avenue. Honestly, I know tons of notaries who are just focusing on estate planning, and they're, six-figure earners, and they don't have that cocky attitude of I made it. And I think it's just how social media presented it, to be honest, right?
Right.
It looks fancy. It looks rich. Like you at this table with the realtor, the title agent. You go into these big homes and you feel like, oh wow, this is it. And it's not. It's not it. Actually, it's easier for you to get sued.
Yes. Yes, which is a great point, because that's something that it may not be very clear, but when you have a stack of documents and
Right.
they don't read it, they never read it, but they sign it, and then you go, you tell them about it, and then it's something that could definitely end up, landing you in court, because if something doesn't go, like Florida is a great place. People want to live there, people want to move there, but a lot of people have money in Florida, and they're not stupid, they're smart people. And
oh yeah,
you could end up getting sued and saying the wrong thing. So yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah.
saying the wrong things, trying to play realtor or title officer. Like, no, know your role. You can state the document what it is, but don't be trying to find out why you need this. Also remember, your job is to notarize, and you need to know how to notarize. What does your notarial certificate requires, right? Is it required to have the people's name in that paragraph? If it's in person or if it's online, like what is it? So I feel like I gravitate, title officers or even signing service owners, they gravitate towards me because I put that information out there. I make it known that I know what I'm doing just by simply blogging and talking about it. And again, that's my passion. I had signing service owners reach out to me like, I need to work with you. And I'm like, really? Well, hello, like what database are you on if I could sign up? Like, is the money right? What are we talking about? So I have people that follow me on social media, and they're like, I just saw your name on the list and like signing order, but you're not near this city. Is there a way you can go here still and handle this? What's the money like? Like, let's talk about it. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but because I was a loan signing agent, I am a loan signing agent, and I have my social media, and I'm passionate. I was also able to go in the back end of stuff and be a scheduler for a signing service owner. So her name is Melissa. She's in Arizona, 2 different time zones. And I was still able to help her in her business. She wanted me basically to run her business. She's a one-man show, run her business while she went on vacation, while she had to be off. So there were several times I took over. And when I say take over, I mean emailing directly to title, getting the notaries to, successfully complete these signings, looking over documents, chasing these notaries down, making sure they did the damn signing.
Oh my.
Had to correct mistakes, like, and me being in that field and being hands-on and correcting title, because they're not perfect. Okay, they be misspelling words, leaving out documents. I had to catch these things. You got notaries catching attitudes because I had to tell them to go back and get this signed. So being in that, I was like, I respect you guys. That's not for me. I told her, I was like, there was one situation where she almost lost a client pretty much because the notary was just so irresponsible. and very unprofessional. And it made me look like shit too, because here I am after this notary. The notary ghosted me when I need corrections done. So title was like, if you ever go on vacation again, I don't want her taking over.
To you.
To me, like I couldn't take over her signing business because of this one situation that happened. So I had to, like, that situation, I couldn't sleep. I was like, you know what? I thought if you're a signing service owner, or if you own your own, like, you know, academy or whatever, like you run things, it was gonna be smooth. Because I was thinking about just opening up a signing service full blown and not doing this anymore, but it is not smooth. It's not. No, it was very stressful, and you don't sleep because you just thinking about these documents and going and chasing these notaries. So I really I learned a lot from that situation, and I just know I don't want to have a signing service. I can recommend notaries and take a cut, right? A referral. Okay, I'll go ahead and take a cut, but to actually be fully involved and not.
What an important lesson that was. Listen to that. That's, to me, that tells me that the trajectory or the course that a lot of notaries will take, especially as the market shifts, people look for other avenues, then the natural progression to a lot of people, it may seem obvious that, oh, the next level is to become the owner of a signing service. And what you're saying, that experience alone, it sheds a lot of light.
For me, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. I mean, signing service owners, right? People don't know this, but us notaries, we are all especially in the same area, right? I'm in Spring Hill. So I know the other notaries that's in Spring Hill, loan signing agents, are competing with the same title offices. They want the same title offices, right? The local ones. So I know I'm not the only one dropping by, emailing them, calling them, showing up in open houses. I know I'm not the only one. They're doing the same thing. Signing service owners are doing the same thing. They're not friends. It's all competition. So that I also had to learn that it's a dog world out here sometimes. So you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. Again, being a loan signing agent, it's presented as a luxurious thing. You made it, but it's a lot of headache as well. It's a lot of work. You can get sued easily. You can get blacklisted easily. I had to blacklist a notary. There's just so much that can happen. So have those avenues, explore those avenues, and don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Listen, a lot of lessons learned, a lot of game being spit, a lot of interesting documents and not documents, but interesting information being shared. We're going to jump into some questions. I know there are people who are probably dying to ask you a lot of things. They're probably not.
I hope so. Ask away.
Yeah. Again, we're sitting here with Griselle Marte. She is the illustrious owner of SheBoss Mobile. So you guys, I've got some hands raised, and if you got something to say, you can definitely come off of mute. And he said the Jim Jones Kool-Aid. We got people who are saying, LaShonda saying you're dropping jewels. Jessica says, wow, she says she got money sitting in her Bible. Talk about your mom. She got $5 million stashed in the book of Jeremiah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely people are feeling what you're saying and definitely dropping a lot of heat. So we definitely appreciate that.
Hey,
so
let's open up the forum tech for Dawn. She has a question. Dawn, you're live and on the air.
Let's go.
I love that.
Hi, SheBoss.
Hey, girl.
How are you? This has been great.
Thank you. Thank you for being here because I was scared. All right. I told you I needed some backup. I like going places by myself.
I got you, sis. But you are doing amazing, and I knew you would. But I have a question for you, honey. And I think this is an important question. I want to know your perspective on this. In your opinion, would you say that loan signing taught you how to be an entrepreneur? What it would take to actually run a notary business?
Oof, yes, it did. I'm telling you, yes, it did. it as a loan signing agent, right, you have to have time management. You need to know where your income is coming from, where your expenses are going. Man, you have to make sure you are marketing. You have to be like a marketing genius, a pro. I've learned along the way, right? So I had to learn, all right, She Boss in all platforms, by the way. Follow me on all platforms, She Boss Mobile. Color schemes, hashtags, who I'm following is major, right? In the whole marketing field. I also had to learn how taxes, right? Who hasn't paid me? Who's paying me? What can I write off? I had to work with, CPAs, things like that. So as an entrepreneur, it definitely helped me. It put my hustle back on, my hustle pants on, because like I said, I was comfortable. And then I had to basically be comfortable being uncomfortable. Like I really had to hustle out there and be consistent with communication, making sure I'm updating my profiles, my pictures, even on signing order, on all these platforms you sign up with, right? Even if you don't do loan signing, make sure you update your stuff. Make sure they know you're still commissioned. Make sure they know that you still have a background check. Because you just never know when you will say yes and when you are needed. So make sure you're active out there. So yes, it definitely created the entrepreneur that I'm now. Not doing loan signing only, but just being a notary overall, because there's so many avenues. If I wasn't a notary, I wouldn't have known I can do weddings. I can do, because here in Florida, you can do weddings. You could be a wedding officiant by just being a notary, because they need to notarize that document. I didn't know I could do field inspections. I thought I had to have take a class, a degree. I literally signed up with there's one particular company called something SUTTON. And they said, well, are you a notary? I'm like, yeah, I'm a notary. Like, well, do you have a smartphone? Well, yeah, I have a smartphone. Oh, so you're good at scanning and you're good at taking pictures? Yes, I am. Well, can you it was like a measuring, they require certain things. Like it was like a measuring wheel and I think it was like a 50-foot pole or something. I could put my phone attached, like to take roof pictures. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. That's it? Like, do I have to take a course or something? They're like, no. I'm like, oh. So you background checked? Yeah, I just did a background check. Perfect. Submit those documents. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, it was gonna be difficult, but no. And honestly, it just opened up a whole other world, different side hustles.
You didn't have to bring in bagels.
And I didn't have to bring in bagels. Donuts is my thing. Donuts is my thing.
That's my thing too. Every Sunday.
So we got a question from Instagram from Black_NS says they're interested in estate planning. How would they get started in something like estate planning? Can you speak on that?
Yeah, sure. So, okay, make sure you're a notary, you're active first, right? Who are you marketing to? So estate planning, you will market to lawyers. You're going to market to family lawyers, especially. You can go ahead and make sure you have your Google business page active and make sure you put those trigger words, those estate planning, notary, power of attorney, wills, things like that. Who's calling you? Yeah, the attorneys are going to call you, but more the family is going to call you first before the attorney calls you. So the family members, the daughter, the sister, they're going to call you first for their mom's will or power of attorney. So who's your market? You need to market to your community. So make sure you are using Google, your Facebook, your social media outlets to tell them that you do estate planning. You're going to put estate planning everywhere, basically. That's what I do. I'm a notary. Everyone's going to know I'm a notary everywhere, every type of platform. If you want to know who's looking for a notary that can do estate planning, go on Facebook, type in notary, looking for a notary to do a POA. And I bet you a post is going to pop up and you're going to comment under that post and tell them, I am a notary that can do a power of attorney. Did you find help already? If not, let me assist you. There's ways. But definitely, keep marketing your notary business, because you are a notary. If you want to go ahead and narrow it down to estate planning, then you're going to go ahead and make sure you use estate planning on everything you do.
Put that bitch on everything.
Yeah.
Shout out. I hope that helped out, Black NS. We got She Boss, you got IG lit up right now. We got another question. Live Nessa got yeah. IG rocks with you heavy. Live Ness Garcia says, I've been a notary for 1 year, but started to take it serious in the past 5 months, but I keep making so many mistakes. Any advance, please?
What course did you take? If you notice you're making mistakes, what kind of mistakes, first of all? Like notary mistakes, like miss a signature, miss a
She's
stamp?
undercharging, probably.
If it's charging, is it charging? That's what she said?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Man, revisit that course. You didn't take it serious enough. To be honest, revisit. There's so much free information out there. If you need a mentor, definitely get with someone. I would say that know your state's rules and regulations. Get with someone that's in your state who's highly recommended. That's my number one thing.
Yeah.
Did I answer the question? That scared me. You don't want to get blacklisted or sued, girl. You better stop. You better pause for a second and get that knowledge first.
Yeah, notary is serious. People, it seems like it's all fun and games, and it is. It's a lot of fun, but you are a very important part of a very large process or transaction. So,
my goodness,
definitely a lot of fun. But I agree with you. It can be fearful when people make mistakes and whatnot, and everything can.
Don't be afraid of investing your knowledge. Like, people are so afraid of spending money. Like, I'm not even going to tell you how many trainings I bought, okay? But don't be afraid of investing in there's tons of training out there. Find out exactly where your flaws are. If you don't know how to be a notary or know how to notarize, then start from one. People are so focused on, I need to know all these documents. No, you need to know how to notarize, because these documents are not even going to be recorded with the county if they're not notarized correctly. People are going to miss funding if these documents are not notarized correctly. So know how to notarize. Go back to square one and don't be afraid to switch up, whatever training you took. Don't be afraid to invest and take another person's training.
Is that a hand from Jessica?
Jessica, go ahead, girl.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be here with you guys. So I do have a question kind of pertaining to what you just mentioned about trainings. So you mentioned that you took a lot of trainings, Griselle. Is there something in particular that you wish were in more trainings that you think should be definitely implemented for future trainings?
So thank you, Jessica, for your question. When I took loan signing trainings, at the beginning of these trainings, everyone said, well, you're a notary now, so we're going to go straight to loan signing. Not realizing that the notaries coming into this, they needed more help knowing how to notarize these documents, knowing what verbiage to look for or how to correct this verbiage. Everyone just took how to notarize documents so lightly, and they weren't really focusing on that. They were just focusing on, all right, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you what this document is. And I'm also going to tell you how to market to your lenders or how to market, to your title officers. It's like, okay, that's great, but how do I make sure these documents are notarized correctly? So again, if you're looking for loan signing training, you have to make sure you know how to notarize, because a lot of these trainings do not go over that. They skip it because they feel like, okay, you're already here.
Interesting. So that's the part that was missing from that's an integral part about your overall success is knowing the documents, what you're saying. Or no, I'm not knowing the documents.
How to notarize. So when I have Zooms, I always go over how to notarize a document, how to correct, like if a stamp is too light or something, how to correct that as well, how to do corrections in your certificate. But of course, every state is different. Every state's requirements are different. So I always tell them like, okay, this Florida requirement, Florida needs you to put what kind of ID they showed you. If they were in person or online, what state, what county you're actually in doing the notary part, notarizing those documents, meeting the client. So I always go over that part at the beginning of anything, because I just feel like that's the most important part. And it's always the thing that's missing from these trainings. Because people just tend to skip over it. Like, okay, you're already here, so you know how to notarize. Let's keep on going. And half the time, notaries don't know what they don't know. And they come in thinking, all right, I'm a notary, but I really want to be a loan signing agent. So I'm going to ignore what I just learned and just try to memorize all these documents. And that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
She's showing y'all how to make money, or she's showing you how to not to lose money. So hopefully you guys are taking notes, especially people who are just interested in, getting into this area.
Right.
Don't lose money. Notarize correctly.
Man, I remember one time I was, so this notary scanned back her documents and she was really confident on the phone. So, I gave her the signing. I was excited to work with her. I get these documents back. Why your stamp is always on top? Why is it above your notarial? What is going on here? I don't need you to stamp all the way up here on the top of the header of the document when your part is down here and you talking about, oh, my stamp was too big. So that's another thing. That's enough. First of all, you printed the paper on letter size. You were supposed to print on legal, but so that's another thing, like learning when to print on what. I always recommend having 2 size stamps. I have a bigger one, a smaller one. And just knowing like it's invalid if your stamp is high up here. Like that's not how you do things. So know how to notarize.
Clean it up, y'all. Clean it up.
Clean it up.
Yeah. She's dropping the jewels. You talked about being a fan of New York hip hop and what's in your playlist when you're headed to you got a last minute signing? I called you. I need you to get down to Spring Hill down the street. Can you please get there as soon as possible? What do you have? You have Dipset in your car. What do you listen to?
It's so funny because obviously this music that's out now I don't really like. So I would play music literally from like the 90s and early 2000s. So I'm still listening to like Eminem. I'm still listening to like 50 Cent. I do listen to Dipset. R&B like Jagged Edge, like things like that. Like I'm still listening to like those 90s and early 2000s because this music now I'm just like, you're a munch? What? Like, I can't deal with the hip hop from today. I do like Cardi B. That is my guilty pleasure, but I gotta hide it from my son.
Shout out to Cardi B. We love Cardi B. All right, yeah. So
so I have you looking at the list of supplies because people always ask me what supplies I need. Where did you get this? So I just say, you know what, let me make a free doc where I have a list of supplies. You can go ahead and click on these supplies. And obviously what I learned is affiliate marketing is major. So I do have this associate to Amazon. So I do get some type of cut from Amazon. That is the way to go when you're sharing information. But this is a free list. Like if you want to know where I got my clipboard that everyone loves that I bring, especially when I'm doing, notary work for the community, I have my little certificates inside, my pens, my journal. There you go. Like in my link in my bio, I literally have so many free free materials. I have a list of supplies. I have loan documents, calendar from the NNA. You can try Notary Gadget for free. I got this free apostille resource here that helped me as well. It's just a list of things that you can literally find for free if you search for it. So I made it all easy and I have it in my link in my bio.
There will be a lot of people who enter into this industry, and there will also be a lot of people who go. What would you say to people who are maybe on the verge of bowing out. They're thinking about, you know what, maybe this ain't what I thought. This ain't working out quite like
It's
I
okay.
yeah,
I'll be lying to you if I would tell you, oh no, everyone loves it, everyone's doing this. No. I have, like, for example, my good friend Suli, is she on here? She might not be on here, but she is a notary in New York. And she said this is not it. She started the weddings. Like, if you were watching following Stamper like over a year ago, 2 years ago, she was on his platform heavily. She's a Dominican chick from New York, and she was promoting her weddings and how to be a wedding officiant. She has a course out there, and she made bank doing weddings, especially during the pandemic, because you can do it online. And she was literally in her house marrying people, making $200-300 whatever, a transaction. And she said, hey, this is just not it. So she did apostilles, and she's doing the transaction coordinator. She's the one doing it. So because you're a notary doesn't mean you have to stick to being a notary. If you don't like it, there's so many different avenues you can go to. And that's what I love about this industry. There's people focusing strictly on estate planning, strictly on weddings. On look at Dawn, she's doing apostille, she's doing estate planning, and she's making bank because she's not afraid to show you what's in her account. So she's making money. Again, you don't have to be a loan signing agent. I know a lot of notaries that is just not interested. They don't want to have to hassle waiting for documents, printing, rushing. And I personally love it. This is why I do it, because I love it. I really have the passion for it, but it's not for everybody, and it's okay. On to the next.
Yeah, Don, I need to borrow $20 until Friday. Thanks.
Look, Don is, and I love she has her team. Like, she has her circle, and her team ride hard for her, and I just love it. Wherever she show up in yellow and blue. And her whole team rocking yellow and blue. And you look at them like, who is it? What's going on? Who are they? You want to know more, because she is a brand, okay? And she makes sure she rocks her brand heavy, and she's always with her crew. And I love it. I love her support team.
Much love out there to Florida. So Griselle, you talked about getting more into real estate and being an agent. So what's on the horizon for She Boss Mobile? What can we expect, and what is the picture of She Boss Mobile? Let's say, I don't know, 3 years, 5 years from now. What can we expect to see from you?
Oh, I'm definitely going to be a landlord. That's for sure. That's no question about it. Oh man. So a realtor is definitely in my list by the end of the year. That's no question about it. Circle back and I'm be like, yes, I did it. Definitely a landlord. I want to be at the table giving notaries a chance. I want to be the one recommending people. I want to be the one recommending, title offices. Yeah, I've had title offices write to me saying they're hiring. I'll ask them how the commission looking like, how the money looking like, and it's not it. So I always always told them maybe in the future. So, but I kept them as connections, right? So I know when I'm a real estate agent, I know who I can recommend. I know who I can follow up with. So being a notary, I already have that circle. I'm part of this group called Latinas on the Go, and they're in Tampa. And it's basically a referral group. And all these ladies in this group, they're entrepreneurs, they're bosses, they're entitled, they're lenders, they're attorneys, they're basically everything you need, right? Some of them, one lady, she just owns a flower shop, but we meet there. Like, it's the convenience, it's the being a unit, being a team, that positive vibe. So I know if you put yourself in the right group and with the right set of people, you are going to be, you're going to level up and be in places where you never even imagined. So I just recently joined this group. I've been in a couple of their meetings, and I just love where I'm going. So yeah, real estate is I'm in love. So I'm gonna be here forever.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people who are into notary, they naturally gravitate or they find themselves interested in real estate. And yeah, I'm no different. And I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people will agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. All right. If we have any other questions out there, please, this is your chance right now. You're talking directly to She Boss Mobile. You have direct access to her right now. You see her on Instagram, you see her on YouTube, you see her everywhere. Scrolling, she's filling up my timeline. I can't even go on my Instagram without seeing 50 million posts from you. So, I mean, that just shows how active she is. And again, like I've always been a big fan of you. So it's really kind of cool to talk to you differently. Yeah.
So you guys stick out because first of all, you guys are men, right? And there's not a lot of men doing this. When I first came on and became a notary, I was following Griffin. And Griff, we actually got on the phone one day because I told him how I wasn't given an assignment because I didn't have a mobile scanner. So then he called me and he's passionate. Okay. So he's going to let you know how he feels about these coaches and trainers and these title officers, whoever it is. So we were on the phone and I was like, I wonder if there's more people like him out here. And then I found you and Tiger. I'm like, oh, so the men that are notaries, they're rough around the edges, huh? They real outspoken. So I was really like, oh, see, the girls are very like, soft and glamour. You guys don't care. You guys come with a white tee and a hoodie. And you guys do your Zoom. And I just love it. I love the realness. And I never know what to expect when I tune in.
You never know. You really don't. It can come out of left field. No, it's definitely a lot of fun. And it's a balance, it's a lot of balance and definitely giving a different picture, different perspective on this industry because it's a large industry and there's some things that people just, like you say, when you were just, working in the store and then you got exposed to it, some people, they're just getting exposed to this different side of it. So yeah, but this is the Notary War Room and this is what we do. This is how we get down, tell people about it. This is the place where you get to learn more about the people that you constantly see on a daily basis. And it's kind of cool to learn a little bit about them and learn their backstory. So we appreciate it.
So we got a question out in Instagram from Levanessa Garcia. She says, how do you stay motivated, She Boss?
I wonder if she asked me this already. So I stay motivated. Man, I love to eat. So I love to eat. So I know if I want to keep eating and I know if I want to keep, providing for my family, having this roof over my head, being able to be in my car, going to the beach when I want to, I need to keep going. I need to keep making these side hustles happen. Keep making the moves I'm making. And to be honest, I stay motivated by my audience too. Like they have played a major impact on not only my success, but also my motivation, and being the reason why I keep showing up. Like you guys have your feelings about Instagram, but I love Instagram and I love my family that I have on Instagram. I said for the month of March, I was going to take a time out of social media. I had tons of posts pre-scheduled on Canva. It was going to, post it itself and stuff. But here I am every damn day talking on live or talking on, on my stories and showing what a day in the life is. So my son, he's been on spring break, but every day we've been doing something. So here I go, showing you guys how I wake up early. I do a closing and then we go out and have fun. And it's just natural for me. It's not work. It's not work anymore to post. It's not work anymore to show you guys what I'm doing because I love it so much. What I did take a time out from was answering those DMs because sometimes those DMs get crazy and everyone wants to know how to. And for those of you that have been DMing me on how to be a notary or how to do this and that, just check my link in my bio and you can get everything you need there. I guarantee you can get everything you need right there, link in my bio, and I'll get back to you guys in a couple of weeks.
We got another question from Instagram. Bell Notary Gem says, how do you create social media posts? Do you create it ahead of time? For example, 5 posts for the week. So what is your method when it comes to creating posts?
I don't have a crazy method. I know you say you see me all the time on your timeline, but I want to say 1 post every 2 days. I do pre-schedule. So on Canva, when you go ahead and you type in Instagram portrait square, whatever Instagram post, you create your post, you make it yours, and then you're going to go ahead and click download, and you're going to see a little scheduling option. You're going to go ahead and use that tool to schedule your post. You pick the day, pick the time, write your caption, and you just schedule it. You don't think about it. But I also post when I'm inspired. You know, the whole St. Patrick's Day, that was already scheduled. But the day in the life, that wasn't scheduled. I had to make the reel. But it wasn't work because I was inspired. I take content all day long. I'm driving, I'm recording. I'm printing. I'm gonna get a little clip of me printing paperwork. You know, like it's not a job anymore because I enjoy it. Sometimes my son holds the camera and he just be recording me. He already know. I'll be like, okay, let's go outside. You gotta get me walking. Like he knows already. Like, and he loves that too. I post when I'm inspired, but most of my posts are, scheduled now. So I like that time.
You've made it into a lifestyle brand.
Yeah. And that's why I need to make money from it. So I am going to take your suggestion and go hard on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to stop playing. I have the content. I just need to go switch it up. Because I was doing YouTube like my first year. And I don't know what happened. I just felt like it was a lot of work because I'm so comfortable and passionate with Instagram.
Yeah, keep both. I need you to turn up on them posts though. I need you to get that email from Instagram that says, "Hey, she boss, you posting too goddamn much."
They love me. They ain't gonna say that to me.
Push it to the limit. They'll love you until you hit that marker though. I promise you.
Yeah.
There's a number you hit, and they'll send you an email and they'll say, "Hey, look, this is too much."
I always tell you this story. So Comfortable Closings, they had a networking event where they were teaching some notaries like the basics or whatever. So anyways, I went to his name is Calvin. I went to his event and he was interviewing a title officer. And here I am just eating my bread. And the title officer was like, basically, she said there's a notary she follows and she really loves, she's really funny. And she was just going, seeing all these good things. And I'm just like eating. And then she's like, I think her name is She-Boss. I'm like, and I didn't even follow her. So like, I know what I'm doing is working because I don't have to tell people, put my name out there or recommend me to this person. My videos and my posts are reaching people already, I don't even follow. So I know something's going on. I know something's working. And that is always a recommendation that turns into, it doesn't only turn into a dollar sign, but it turns into, a better position, basically. Like I know I'll be invited to rooms I wasn't invited to last year. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I think I'm doing a good job. Notary Nation said, shout out to Calvin. Yeah, he's dope. He's a beast. I don't know if you guys know this, but Calvin from Comfortable Closings, he's a beast. Like every title office I know in Tampa work with him. Like he's a beast. He has a team. He's not a one-man show. He has a team. And I was told by the streets he profited six figures last year. So he's a beast. He's a Black young man too. And he's doing his thing.
Congrats to Calvin.
Follow him. Definitely follow him.
So She-Boss, go ahead and let people know how they can get in contact with you. Everything you got going on. I've been showing and sharing your screens of stuff that you got going on. But do you have any promotions for the family?
So I have right now, for the month of March, I do have 50% off my Etsy. Go in there, it's Women History, it's a promo code. also on April 1st, because I always get this question where what other avenues, how can I make money as a notary? So I have on my Luma, you're gonna go ahead to my link in my bio, click on events, and I have 5 ways to make money as a notary for $5. 5 for 5, all right? Like you can't go bad. I'm gonna show you what it is and how to get started. So right now, this is my Etsy. So with my Etsy, you can see why are you showing? Go ahead, scroll up. So you can see what I have. So again, you're gonna see a lot of things from Gumroad here as well. I did have to take away a whole bunch of templates because I don't know if you guys know, when you create a template on Canva and you share the link, if that person does not create a copy of the template, when they edit the template, it becomes that template you're selling, you're going to see all their information. So I had to learn it the hard way. So I took off a lot of things. Also, there was a lot of my materials being sold on other people's Etsy profiles. So I had to go ahead and change things around and make it less templates and more PDFs. That way my name is on everything as well. And I do have, okay, on the top right, I do have certificates for all states. So for all states, you're going to see, if you're looking for, your notarial certificate for New Jersey, but then you might have a best friend in Florida, purchase that notarial certificate package. You get one for each state. You get acknowledgement and a jurat. If you go down, right there, it says all states and it has the state of the, yup, that right there. So people are always looking for certificates. So go ahead, and I have all states right there. And again, 50% off. So how much is that one again?
What's that promo code again?
Woman History. One word.
Woman History. I'll put that in the chat.
And I always go into my link in my bio, go into my events, type in your email, so you can always get updates of, any Zooms I'm having. I have free Zooms. I have, low cost Zooms. There's going to be other Zooms coming in. It's going to be more in detail where we be partnering up with other people. I used to be on a lot of other individuals' platforms. And this year I said, it's going to be my way and my rules. So I do have more Zooms that are just me because I want to teach you. Shut up. I want to teach you how I want to teach you. And I don't want the notary police to be all in my, my business.
Notary police.
The notary police are real. They are real out here.
Yeah, there's notary snitches out in these streets. The fact. Hey, yo, so check this out, you guys. You know she's from the Bronx, New York. She got the $5 holla, yo. She got the $5 holla. Get the 2 for $5 purple top, nigga. Purple top.
5 for 5. 5 for 5. There you go.
But yeah, she has a lot of great resources, you guys. You guys have to check her out at She Boss Mobile, right? LLC.
Yes, you're gonna see She Boss Mobile. When you go to the link in my bio, I also have on my Amazon, I have journals. So it's not journals, it's planners. So with the planners, you are going to be able to, I'm trying to look for one. Where's my planner? You're going to be able to organize your work. You're going to be able to list down. If you don't want to use your Excel file, go ahead and use my planner. Get organized. You can list down your income. You can list down your expenses. You can list down companies you have to go back and revisit. What to do in a day. There's also like puzzles in there to keep you going. There's tons of things. So I have on my Amazon, I have my my journals there, and yeah, I think they're like 15 right now for March. There you go.
Okay.
She Boss, they gotta get this work. They're gonna get this work.
What the thing is, right? Whatever you need, I have a solution. Like I have something for it. You need to get organized. All right, there you go. You need something that's like free documents. There you go. You need to learn how to market. All right, I got that. Like, let's go. Let's whatever you need. Link in my bio. Stop playing.
Yeah, she boss.
Shut up. Go over there.
That's your bodyguard over there.
Yeah. And I be giving bonuses. Yes, Angie's like, and she be giving bonuses.
So I wanted to, She-Boss, I wanted to thank you so much for being on the show. You were fantastic. Tech, you were fabulous.
Yes,
host
you
as
were.
usual, brother. Plug people into what you got going on, brother.
Yeah, well, I appreciate She-Boss too for taking the Notary War Room on a mission today. So, as always, thank you everybody for joining in. You can always go check out what I have going on at drtek.com. That's drtek.com, drtek.com. I am Tech Amaku, and this is the Notary War Room. You guys came and rocked with us, and as always, greetings from the West Coast. I'm always here to bring you guys that West Coast Cali flavor that you can only find here. drtek.com is where you can find out more about me. But thank you again, Griselle. Thank you for joining us today. Any last words that you want to give to the community? Anything else you want to say to us? Any parting words that we didn't talk about? Anything else you want to leave us with?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone that showed up. When I said, hey, times change, they still showed up. Still showing me love. I appreciate all my notary in the industry friends, all my Instagram followers. There's you guys from having me here. I was scared. I was like, I need backup because these guys, listen, it could be a little ruthless. Like, I don't know. But I am so happy that everyone that showed up and protected me. Listen, I'm from New York. We don't travel alone. We travel, in groups.
That's a fact.
So I really appreciate us being here. It was fun. I could be myself. Yeah, I love this. I love this. Who's next? Like, I want to know who's next on here. Who's coming up?
Yeah, Tiger, who we got next on the list? Yeah, so we always gonna come up with some new people, new surprises, and
so March 29th, you guys, we have Notary for Me out of Texas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she is amazing. Her and her husband are a great team. They got, the academy over there teaching notaries, even how to open a business. Like, they're bomb. They are bomb.
So I'm excited about that. We have the surprise guest host, Dawn, is going to be interviewing that one. Of course, I'll be double dutching in there, throwing a little couple of curse words to stir up a couple of things, because Dawn doesn't curse. She go to church.
No, leave Dawn alone.
Shout out to Dawn.
But she'll get down if it's needed.
Yeah. I love Dawn. She keeps it clean for me. She's like the person I want to be in life. I don't like this guy. He's a little bit. This guy's off the chain too much. This guy. Don't follow me, you guys. I might get you locked up. Don't follow me.
I love the yin and yang of this. I love it.
So March 29th, it's going down. And then, of course, for the month of April, I'm going to keep that a surprise. We have some, special guests coming on there. But you guys, it's going to be available on Apple Podcasts real soon. Of course, the Notary War Room is worldwide, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Thanks to you guys. It is worldwide. We are streaming in the Middle East and Africa. We're going to tap into more of the, other markets really, really soon. So I really appreciate all of the love, the support, the likes, the hearts, the patronage. See, I want to put this out there real quick too, She-Boss, is that when you guys buy some of our products that, are able to help you, you guys don't realize how much you're helping us build our brand, how much we're able to, okay, now we can purchase a better camera, better audio equipment to give you better production, better quality. So I want to take the time out to personally thank you guys for your patronage and sharing, breaking bread with us. It goes a long way. I love you guys. The squad is heavy. Let's put our hands together again for She Boss and Tech Amaku for bringing this home. I love you guys. Any last words, She Boss?
Thank you. That's it. Do your research. Do your research. Okay. You want to become a notary, do your research first. There's pros, there's cons. Don't rely on one hand, okay, to give you everything you need. Don't be afraid of investing in yourself, thinking outside the box. Your family and close friends are not going to be your first customers, are not going to be your first clients. They're not even going to support you like that. And it's okay, because you're going to find a whole other community out there that's just for you. And yeah, just be true to yourself and make it happen.
And thank you guys for tuning in for Tiger Toledo.